Thank you for holding. My name is The Big Bang. Thank you for tuning in to Wild Thoughts with your host, The Big Bang. Today it's going to be another little knowledge drip for you. I got a lot of stuff to go over. Today I'm going to go over some great affirmations. These affirmations that I have been going over with you, we have to expect that these affirmations are going to work. We must believe deep down that no matter what we do, that these affirmations that we are telling ourselves are a blunder to the all-knowing human becoming that is you. But before we get into some of those affirmations today of believing that you can be successful, I'd like to do our opening sponsor today, which is the air. That's right. I feel it behind me. I feel it below me. I feel it everywhere. The air is coming, and it just keeps coming. Whether it's blowing, whether it's just stagnant, the air keeps blowing. It keeps going into my lungs, keeps going into your lungs. It keeps helping us breathe. It keeps helping us, live the life that we really want to truly live. And, I feel bad for some people because the reason I feel bad for some people is because, if you have been wise and successful, I congratulate you. Unless you are unable to forget how successful you have been, then I pity you. And that makes sense right there. You probably will read that to me one more time, say it to me one more time. I'm going to do it just for your listeners. So here you go. If you have been wise and successful, I congratulate you. Unless you are unable to forget how successful you have been, then I pity you. How many of you guys out there can realize and congratulate yourselves on really how successful you have been? From able to, maybe you did something big at your job. Maybe you got a new job. That should be considered success. Maybe you made an extra 25 cents an hour. That should be considered success. Maybe you painted a wall, or you did just something little, and you're like, man, I ain't grateful for that. You should be 100% grateful for that because you did it. And most people won't do it. So if you did it, you're part of the race that did it. You can sit there and say that the race is hard because there's a lot of things that go into it. But once you start doing the race, it's actually really simple. Once you get in the race, you realize that, hey, you're going to look around and you're going to go, okay, well, nobody I work with is in this race except for me. So, now I got everyone beat at my work already. Then you look around, you go ask 25 people. They're not doing it. Go ask 100 people. They're probably not doing what you're doing. And, you guys are probably out there doing stuff that I'm not doing. And that's easy. But that's why we have the wind and air of change. The air that we keep breathing in and out. The wind that cools our sweaty faces when we work hard. The winds that push seeds from the trees that go to the ground and plant new stuff. Plant new trees, plant new things. I'm telling you, the air, the wind, everything that goes on with that is really good. And you need to be very grateful for all the wind in your life. You need to be aware of the wind. You need to be aware of your breath. You need to be aware of the wind that comes out of your mouth when you're talking to people, because your wind coming from your mouth can start a riot. It can start a movement. It can start a change. It can start whatever the fuck you want it to start. Literally, if you want to do anything, you start with the winds of change. You start with the winds of change. The winds of change first come from the sky, probably, and then the second winds of change come from your mind, your thinking. You need to be able to think and act upon your actions, your ideas. If you have a good idea, you need to act upon it, and that's called taking wind. Take flight to the wind. Take flight to the wind and fly off. Fly away on that wind and keep working on yourself. Even if that wind gust only takes you 5 feet. Even if that wind gust only takes you over to the next little thing that you need. Maybe you needed a bolt to get something done. Maybe you needed a camera. Or maybe you needed to get I don't know. What else do people need? I don't know. Whatever you needed to get your thing going, whatever you are working on, just keep riding that gust of wind. And trust me, that wind is going to fail you. Sometimes you're going to look up, and that wind that you were riding, that beautiful gust of wind that you were surfing on so easily is going to just drop from underneath you. It's just going to disappear. Just going to go away. And when that shit happens, you need to be prepared for it. Because it's going to happen. Eventually, you're going to keep going. Your winds are going good. Your sails are moving. Your surf is going. You got a good backdraft or whatever. You're flying high. And then, boom, the wind stops. And now you're falling. Because you were riding that momentum wave. See, now that you've already started riding that momentum of the wave, you need to keep that momentum going. And you got to kind of not force it, but you have to force it. You really do have to kind of force it, because let me tell you something. If you sit at home and you go, hey, I want to fly an airplane. I want to see the world. I want to go to Mexico. I want to do something. I want to start, I don't know, the biggest YouTube page alive. Maybe I want to make movies. Let me tell you something. The movies aren't going to come to you while you're sitting on your couch. They're really not. You got to get up there. You got to go buy a camera, first of all. If you want to be like a movie maker, just go to like your local any store, buy a goddamn camera, and then you can just become what you want to become. Now, I know most of you listening probably don't want to become great movie makers of all time, but still, it's the same fucking idea. If you want to do something, you gotta do it. You can't just sit there and wait for the opportunity to come to you, because when the opportunity does come for you, guess what? You will not be prepared. You will not be ready for the things that are going to happen. The responsibilities of what to do. You can sit there and say you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. But if you don't actually ride that airwave all the way over and just keep riding that wave to the next spot and keep riding the wave and keep riding the wave, and then the wave stops, well, guess what? You know what you got to do? You got to start making your own waves. You got to push your hands together. You got to go out there. You got to get the shit done so that when your opportunity comes, you will be prepared, because opportunities will come, and they come a lot. But if you are not prepared for your opportunity, then you will fail, and you will not succeed in providing the opportunities that were available to you. Now, does that mean you're going to fail forever if you miss one opportunity? No, absolutely not. You probably didn't even want that opportunity in the first place. You're going to keep pushing that wave. You're going to keep flying over. You're going to keep looking for the next job. You're going to keep looking for the next way to make money. You're going to be looking for your next business idea. You're going to be looking for how to earn residual income. That's what you just got to do. So, yep, with that being said, today, now we're going to go over some great affirmations. Our affirmations of today are in money, because I don't understand how anybody in this world could be poor, but some people are. It's okay. I've been poor, and even though when I was like really poor, like driving not a very good car, whatever it is that you think makes you poor, I now realize that I was very successful, even though I didn't have a lot of money. I may not have had $1 billion. I may not have had $10 million. But damn it, if I was poor, even if I didn't have $10 million, maybe I had $10 in my bank account, guess what? I knew that I was successful because of some things in my life that went right. Even though when it felt wrong, even though it felt like so terribly wrong, like you go to a restaurant, a fast food restaurant, and you can't even afford the fucking $5 menu. But guess what? How did you get over there? You drove your car over there. And you go, wow, I drove my car over here. So that's pretty good. That's a big success, because most people in this world will never have cars. Kings and queens before our times didn't have cars. They didn't have a McDonald's down the street to get whatever food they wanted from. And even though you couldn't have got the double quarter pounder with cheese and the large fry and large drink, guess what you could get? You can get a McDouble or whatever else, you know what I'm saying? You can get whatever fucking else you want from the dollar menu, from the $2 menu. You got $5, you can still eat. So don't down yourself for not doing as good as you think you should be doing. You should reward yourself for doing good enough to do what you are doing right now. And you have to believe that you are going to be successful. You got to believe in your heart's a heart that you got to, know that you're going to be whatever you want to be. Whether you don't want to be rich, whether you don't want to be successful, which I don't even understand why some people would say they do not want to be rich. I don't understand when people say they don't like money. I don't understand when people say money is bad or that anything is bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you really say money is bad? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you have some type of sickness, really. If you're out there saying that money is bad, you really do have some type of sickness. Because let me tell you, money is not bad. Money is good. You need money to do what you want to do in this world. Even if you want to be a goddamn crocheter for the rest of your life, guess what? You're going to need money to get supplies so that you can crochet. If you want to be I don't know what everybody wants to be. It's hard to say what people want to be because there's so many different things in this world. Like, you could be a damn candle maker. You could be an iPod touch maker. You could be a ceramic maker for cups. You could make water bottles, or you can create butter. I mean, there's so many different ideas in this world that you can create and make money with. All you got to do is start the process, because let me tell you, not everybody's in the goddamn process, but you first got to think that, hey, money is good. I like money. I see myself being successful. All right, now let's get into what I have written for you little badass bitches out there today, for all you people out there of making money, doing things that you should be doing. Because I know for one thing, if you've been listening to Wild Thoughts for a long time, which I know most of you have, I got a really good following. You guys been listening to Wild Thoughts for a long time. You know that we don't believe in being poor, first of all. We believe that we live abundantly. So let's get into the fear of power. While we eat off the little people, my thoughts of confusion of how someone could be poor when you align the God force of being nice. It should be easy to get money. I know for a fact that the money is there. I have come upon some interesting ideas. The ideas are owning my own business and charging what I know will be paid. I am so grateful for the opportunity to be a billionaire. How one comes to find. The idea that money is bad. Where did this enter your life? The affirmation of telling yourself that you do not have anything more. Like, if you see someone with something that you like, but you tell yourself you are not in need of that. By telling yourself you are not in need of one thing, you are telling yourself you will also do not need the things that will come with it. Denying your human short life of not getting what you want, you will always get what you do not want. So you got to be flexible. You got to be learnable. You got to be kind to yourself. Always be flexible. Be fast on your feet. Do not take a risk. Take the fucking risk. Take the major risk, and abundantly you shall be. Just that simple. So you must believe you are affirming. You must believe that you are aware of your being. So I'm going to go over some affirmations that you can go over every day. You can repeat it to yourself for 5 minutes. You can repeat it to yourself for an hour. You can repeat it to yourself once a week. You just got to say this at least sometime in your life. And now I'm going to go over that. I am now writing in my subconscious mind the idea of God's wealth. God is the source of my supply, and I know God is the light principle within me. And all of my needs are met at all times and point of space. God's wealth flows freely and seamlessly into my experience. And I give thanks for good riches, for always circulating into my experience. Now, that was pretty good. You can go over that again if you want. I'm not going to say it, but if you want to, you can rewind it and listen to it again. Let's go over into some affirmations. I am in God's instant supply. I am capable of affording that car. I am able to pay my bills on time. I am thinking money and wealth all the time. I know that money is good. I know that I definitely can get what I want. I am happy money flows to me freely. I always have enough money. I am able to double my income every month. I see all the good money can do. I see money as God's idea. I see myself as God's idea. I expect to not stress over money. I love the God and the idea of God. I subscribe to making my life better. I expect to have greatest knowledge drip. I know I am born to win. I know I am going to be successful. I am growing mentally. I am growing financially. I am appreciating life. I know my faith in God will deliver unto me. I know my seed of thought will come to me. I allow myself to plant seeds of success. I water my seeds. I give light to my seeds. I speak kindly to my seeds. I think and pray constantly toward my seeds of success. I am the good God wants. I absolutely have my mind made up. I acknowledge my superpower. I will continue to move toward my goal. I will enlighten multiple people about knowing my worth and their own worth, and I will not think of lack anymore. I will never lack anything. I am God, and I have my instant supply. I am strong. I am a believer in myself. I believe in what I am affirming 100%. You must believe what you are affirming. You must believe that you are aware of your human becoming. You must believe what you are affirming. Okay? It's just really that simple. You must honestly, truly believe that you are, what you're saying will come true. You have to believe it. You have to expect it. Even if it doesn't come tomorrow, you have to know that you will be successful today. You have to know that no matter what anybody else thinks about you, you have to be successful. Now, with that being said, that was a pretty good topic right there today. So that was the topic of money with God. Now, I'm ready to go over one last thing with you before we sign off for the rest of this week, because that's 3 podcasts this week, 3 knowledge drips. And even though knowledge drips are really good, and all my knowledge drips have been very potent for your lifestyle, I'm going to finish off this week with the self-confidence formula, just because I know how much all of you enjoy when I talk about the self-confidence formula, and you guys go, wow, is this really the self-confidence formula that you want to give to us? And heck, yes. I mean, if it was good enough for the greatest, if it was good enough for JFK, if it was good enough for Napoleon Hill, good enough for anybody that thinks that they are, successful, or they have a lot of self-confidence, it's good enough for me, and it's good enough for the listeners. And I'm going to start now with the self-confidence formula. I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, aggressive, and continuous actions towards its attainment. Now, let's go over that self-confidence formula again real fast, the first part. I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, aggressive, and continuous actions towards its attainment. Okay, did you hear that main part right there? Continuous actions towards the attainment of whatever you want. That's the same thing that I was talking about when we were riding the goddamn motherfucking wave. You got to keep riding that goddamn wave, and even when that goddamn wave's to stop, you got to have aggressive and continuous actions towards your attainment. Damn it. That's good. I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind eventually reproduce themselves in an outward bodily action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my mind for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to be, by creating a mental picture of this person and then transforming that picture into reality through practical service. Now, before I move on, I just want to go over one part right here. I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind eventually reproduce themselves in an outward bodily action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. And when I say they transform themselves into physical reality, that's the same as believing in your affirmations, the affirmations that maybe you have written down from this podcast. Like, just, I'll give you one of them. I am able to double my income every month. You see that? That is an affirmation right there. I am able to double my income every month. So when you reproduce yourself and, you know, into an outward and bodily action, and then you gradually transform them into a physical reality. So when you reproduce themselves in an outward bodily action, you know, that's your mind thinking for you. Okay? That's your mind thinking for you. And then you got to really transform them into a physical reality. So you got to transform that thought of you want to double your money every month. You want to make sure that your income is doubling every month. Well, guess what? You're going to have to gradually transform them into physical reality. All right? It's just that simple. It really is that simple. Let's get on. Third, I know that through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of realizing it. Therefore, I shall devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of the factors named in the 16 lessons of this reading course on the law of success. Now, I know most of you guys are like, what are the 16 lessons of this reading course on the law of success? That's just part of the what would you call it? The success formula, okay? Or self-confidence formula, sorry. I have clearly mapped out and written down a description of my definite purpose in life. For the coming 5 years, I have set a price on my services for each of those 5 years, a price that I intend to earn and receive through strict application of the principle of efficient, satisfactory service, which I will render in advance. I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transactions which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to me the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because I will first serve them. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing a love for all humanity. Because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it aloud once a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my entire life so that I will become a successful and happy worker in my chosen field of endeavor. Now, you can write that all down if you want, and you can sign your name to it. It's fucking great. Sign your name to it. Tell yourself that you are capable of becoming self-confidence. Tell yourself that your affirmations are not just affirmations, but your affirmations are real things that you're really going to succeed. Your affirmations, 5 years, like in the self-confidence creed says. It says that your 5-year goal plan, right? Your 5 years plan, your money will be worth it. Well, how do you get there? You got to get there month by month, by day, by minute. Okay? So when you go through the days, when you go through the months, when you go through the things, just make sure that you're doubling your income. Double your income from May. Whatever you made in April, you should be able to make double what you made in May. Don't sit down and watch TV. Don't sit down and sit there and struggle and say you don't have enough. Don't sit there and fight with yourself about how you don't have enough money. Never, ever fucking say that you don't have enough of money. Never fucking say that. Ever. In your entire life. Ever again. If you've been saying, I don't have enough money to buy something, don't fucking say that ever again. You will say, from now on, we will say, how will I get the money to afford that? How will I get the money to afford that? I will get the money to afford that. I have the money to afford that. Whatever you need. And it's just like that. That's your affirmations. You got to sincerely believe that you can do it. And if you don't believe that you can do it, well, guess what? Someone else does, and they're going to fucking take your idea, and they're going to be fucking rich because they took your idea. All because you were afraid that you could not do it because you did not believe in yourself. Just that fucking simple. I'm telling you. Whew, it's just that simple. Well, guys, I want to say thank you. It's almost been 25 minutes. And then I had to work at the zoo today, so I'm gonna call it good, and keep working on yourself, guys. Keep working on whatever you're doing with your life. It's the race is simple. You're the only one in it. Look around. You're the only one there. It's gonna be easy. Just get to the finish line when you do. Take some pit stops. Be the turtle, but fucking soar like an eagle. Guys, this has been Wild Thoughts, and this has been your host, The Big Bang. Bye.